Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together, that if each one would just reach one, we all can grow and glow. I'm so happy to be here. Happy for everyone that's here. I just want to recognize the people that's already in there. We got the source, and I see Mind Games in there. How y'all doing? And thank you for being here. I got a special guest with me today. I mean, a very, very special guest with me today. I got Mr. Eric Etheridge. Hello, Eric. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing very well.
All right, so look like I'm telling you right now, we've had some technical difficulties going into this live, so it's been fun even just trying to get set up today. So I'm gonna stay off script. I guess we were gonna be because if it's gonna go this direction, we just gonna have to go this direction. So look, we got some people out here. So this is how it works. So we're
Mhm.
live. We're live right now. We're on YouTube live, and we got people that's going to be coming into the chat. You already see them. You probably can see the chat going up right now. So we'll
Mhm.
recognize all those people that's coming in there and make sure. So I also like to give them their blue jacket. So a blue jacket is when we turn some people into moderators. They'll be in there in the chat and they'll help us keep some of the trolls out. Anybody that's trying to corrupt the show will bring in bad vibes. But we're going to keep this thing up. So I was able to get my computer fixed, and because of that, I'm able to give people their blue hats, so or blue jackets. So I'm gonna be doing that while we sit there talking. And then at the same time, some people are going to have some questions for us. And if they got any questions in there, we're going to make sure we try to answer those questions and things like that. But again, I want to thank everybody that's here. And Eric, if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself to everybody that's out there?
Hey. My name is Eric Etheridge. Nah, I'm just joking, Bill. Y'all thought that was it. Y'all thought that was it. Nah, I am Eric Etheridge. I'll say this as far as everybody, we are oldest friends. He's my oldest friend, my best friend, closest friend. And I don't know, I can keep on and on. I probably could spend another hour talking about who you are, who we are together. But that's just who I am, man.
All right. Well, look. I see we got people in there. So let's recognize some of the people that got here. So we got Joe Remington in there. Hey, Joe, how you doing? Casey, Inspirational Tales. Casey, hello and thank you. Inner Beauty Blessings Lifestyle is here. Hey, Inner Beauty. I see Follow Your Bliss Life. Got to get you a blue jacket. Thank you. I see Q5 Barnes is in there. So what's up, my brother?
Hey,
And
hey.
so in there. So Eric made a comment. He said, we the oldest friends, best friends. I've said it many times on my show that my circle is really small. My physical circle is really really small. So there's not a lot of people that's in there. I'm talking Cheerio small, like you fit it in the hole of the Cheerio. That's how small my circle is. But this brother right here, this one right here, this is the one that I've in one of the videos when I talked about my seventh grade struggle and how if it wasn't for this guy right here, and I'm just being as honest as I can honestly be with you, I probably wouldn't be here today. I just know I was going down a bad road and a bad way. And we're talking in middle school. So, it wasn't, it didn't look like it was going to get any better. And I really, truly thank God for this brother here because we had some days in our lives. And I'm not talking about the soap opera, but we had some days in our lives where we sat on street corners and we just talked about what it was going to be like when we got older, what it was
Yeah.
going to be like when we grew up, what it was going to be. And because he helped me or planted some of those seeds in my mind, I had goals and visions that I didn't have before. I had things I was looking forward to, and it straightened me out and got me to go into the right direction. So I truly, truly, truly want to thank you as a friend, as a brother, like I say, I would say a brother from another mother. This man can come into
Yeah.
a house, my family house, and I'm not there. He has the keys to the city. That's how much And I really love this brother. So I want you all to welcome him here. So Eric, hey, thank you for being on the show.
And that's the same thing with you, bro. When you can trust somebody with your wallet, your bank account, and your wife, that's saying something. and,
Yeah, that's what's up.
he's that brother. He can same way I could walk in. I mean, he can walk into our family and be our family, and he is family. you
Yeah,
know.
and that's the whole. Oh man, thank you, thank you. So I had this big old script and all this other stuff, and we were
Hold
gonna
up,
go
Bill.
down there.
I thought it was the Suzy Q's that changed your life.
No, it was them oatmeal pies.
It's all
The
milk
oatmeal
pies.
pies did a lot
It's just
for me,
kidding.
but
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but no.
I'm
There was
sorry.
a lot of oatmeal pies in my lifetime, but sitting on those street corners, and I don't know if you
Yeah,
know everybody that's out there, and we're on the show now, but everybody is out there, and if you know, and you know you got a good friend or a best friend or something like that, and and
yeah,
and just because you call a person the best friend, don't mean that they call you the best friend. But this is, it felt good, and it feels good when he made that comment to me or said about me, because that's what I say about him. And there's only two other people that even hold that title as a true friend to me. And one is on here right now. And he's in here in the chat,
hmm
and we appreciate that brother here. And then the other one is my wife. So and a lot of other people don't get to hold that title, and because of that, you got to really, really respect when you got a real friend. That one that that will stick closer than a brother, because
yeah.
sometimes your brother might not be that person, but this
Hello.
person has been real, and he's been real for a long time. And the chats are flying through. So we want to try to
Yeah.
recognize the people that's in there.
Hey,
Start
hey.
here with Tajmir, and I'm getting to know Tajmir. She's a singer. So a lot of people, just to explain to you, a lot of
Mhm.
people in here are content creators. So these are people
Okay.
that's on YouTube. They're content creators, and they all come together to support one another. Because I believe that we are stronger together. So because
Amen.
we're all together, we're stronger. And they're all trying to get their channels built up or blow up to get their 1,000
hmm
subscribers, to 4,000 watch hours, and things like that. But because we support each other, we all seeing each channel grow and glow, and that's the big thing. So now you're seeing with the
hmm
some of the people that's down there. So I'm gonna do my best to get them
Pro-
their blue jackets, because some of them have truly deserved their blue jackets and earned their blue jackets. So we're gonna make sure they get them. And the other part to it is it allows them to interact with each other. Once they go blue, they can click on other
okay.
blues, and go into their channels and support even while they're sitting here in the live. So that's a big thing right there. I see Camille Newman is in there. So how you doing, Miss Newman? Hey, that's cool. Yeah. So, but that's
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. So having Miss
Mhm.
Newman in there is a bit. So if you seen the video, there's a video I did about my seventh grade struggle and the turning point in my life. Well, he was one of the people in the picture on the thumbnail, and Miss Newman, who's down in the chat now, was the school
Mhm.
teacher that we had back in eighth grade that
Yeah.
really flipped me around. I mean, 100% turnaround. And I thank God that she's even in here supporting this live show right now. So thank you, Miss Newman, for being there.
Thank
Start
you.
here with Tajmir. Let me get you your blue jacket real quick,
Hey,
and
hey.
want to make sure we recognize everybody that's in here. If I'm missing anybody, it is not personal. You already know it's not personal. It's the chats are flying and people are interacting with each other, and I appreciate that. If you haven't hit that that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's pump it up. Push that like button. Double tap the screen if you're on the phone, and that will let that like button go. So give me some likes. Give me some likes. So E,
Yeah.
I know you have a job. You have a 9 to 5. So a lot of content creators, we have jobs and we create content. So
Mhm.
in your 9 to 5, that the business, what do you do? What is it that you do to put a roof over your head and clothes on your back, food on the table, and things like that?
All that good stuff. Well, I am currently a real estate appraiser. I have my own appraisal company, and I'm a realtor as well as investor in real estate. And so I've been doing that for 25 years. I think I'm at 25 right now.
Oh wow.
I know,
25. Do you
right?
know it's been 25 years? Wow.
I know,
Man.
right?
Yeah. All right. So now I
Absolutely.
don't know. I don't know. And I'm gonna ask you this. What is the difference between a appraiser and an inspector? Because I don't know. I'm for real. I'm
Yeah.
asking that.
And so the thing is an inspector typically will come and they will, for lack of better words, they will inspect your house. I call it from the rooter to the tutor, from the top to the bottom. So they will go through, look at every point of your house, and they will test your electrical system, all your mechanical systems. They will look to see if there's any defects, any code defects, and things of that nature, and report back to you. the condition of your house. And so their job, especially as it relates to if we're talking about a purchasing perspective, if you're involved in buying a home, they're going to be the individuals that come in and do a good, as they call a white glove test, not in terms of whether it's clean or not, but going through and to identify any defects of your home so that you can either use it as a negotiating tool, or that you know what you're getting into, or it may be something that you can use to negotiate to say, look, I'm going to back out of this deal. This house has too many issues, but at the same time, you can use it to ask for the repairs to be done prior to you closing. And that's the home inspector. But the appraiser is that's the individual that comes to give you a value of your home. So if we're talking about buying a home, we're talking about the individual that comes in who is basically they're no one's advocate. The home inspector is your advocate as the buyer, but the home appraiser the appraiser is not your advocate. The appraiser is supposed to come in with an unbiased eye and say, look, this is the value of your home. And if it's in for buying purposes, what'll happen is that it'll be for the bank. It's just like an attorney-client privilege. Most people think, I pay for this appraisal, I want to know the value. I can't tell you that, because based upon the laws, I am bound to not discuss anything, because in that instance, you're not my client. However, you pay for it, but that's just a bill that, say, the lending institution paid to you. But as far as clientele, no, because they engage me, and I only can report to them or release any information about your house to them unless they give me authorization. And so that's on the buyer side. Now, however, if we're talking about a refinancing, almost the same thing applies. I'm coming in, evaluating your house. I'm checking out all the details of your house, the foundation, not excuse me, the functionality of your house, bedrooms, baths, condition, location, and there's a whole lot of other factors that go into it, because there's a methodology to it. Then I come up based upon that information. I'll come up with a value for your house, and I report that back to your lending institution. However, there's also times where I do stuff for estates, do stuff for attorneys. There's times where people may just want to know, how much is my house worth? Because what people don't understand is that they look at the taxes and they say the taxes say that my house is worth $500 million, and in some instances, the tax may be wrong, because there's a different methodology. There's a different approach to appraising your house for tax purposes, opposed to
Mm.
appraising your house for individual purposes, or what they call fair market value.
So now, if I'm understanding what you're saying to a point, so the appraiser
Mhm.
is working for the bank in a sense. The client is the bank. Is that the appraiser? Right. So the
Yeah,
client
yeah.
is the bank. So even
Mhm.
though we might pay for the appraisal, the appraiser, you're doing your work for the bank, the person that's going to give the loan for the house or whatever. Okay. But the inspector, that's something I would pay for. Now, do you recommend that I get an inspector, that I actually, I'm getting ready to buy a house, I should get it inspected? Or is it one of those, let me just trust the person selling the house, and the appraiser will catch everything? Is that what you think on that?
Yeah, I'll tell people to get a home inspector. I don't care if it's new construction. I've even had challenges where I had my client to back out of a deal. We had to back out even with the new construction, because and that's a whole nother discussion in terms of that, because you expect that the builder would do everything correctly, but sometimes the reality is sometimes they cut corners, and
Mhm.
sometimes they have, I'm just saying it, being real. Sometimes they have special relationships with the county and the county code inspectors, and some things are overlooked. But so your home inspector is your advocate. I don't care what it is. It is worth getting a home inspector, because you need someone a professional who's going to look out for you. You always need your advocate. And when I say, when you talk about a real estate deal, you need to build your team. You
Mhm.
have to build your team. I always tell my clients, we're going to build a team. I'm a part of your team. I help you build your team. And you need people who are going to be honest and upfront with you, so that, think about it, you're making an investment. And like I told one of my clients, yeah, this was years ago. She was paying I think $500,000 for her home. But I said, I told the builder, so by the time she finished paying for this home, after 30 years through the amortization, she's paying almost three-quarters of $1 million, and you're gonna give her some junk like this? Nah, bro, that's not gonna work.
Right,
And
right.
so, I mean, that was one of the minor things that happened, but we had to back out of a deal. But it was through the home inspector, and one of the situations where they were able to identify that there's a possible issue with the um, with the foundation. So we had to call in the structural engineer, and so on and so forth.
Oh
So
wow.
your home inspector is your advocate. Out of everybody, the two people who really your advocate, well, three. If you're buying a home, if you're not paying for it in cash, is number one, your realtor is your advocate. And number two, the home inspector is your advocate. And number three, whoever your financing person, those are your advocate. And so, from an appraiser perspective, yes, say for example, the Bank of America, or Wells Fargo, or Truist Bank may be my client. However, it's my job as an appraiser. I know I'm switching subjects, but as an appraiser, it's my job to be unbiased, even if they are my client,
Mm,
because sometimes what people don't understand is that sometimes people want the appraiser to do stuff in their favor, and so now we're talking about undue influences. And so it's my job to say, I don't care who you are, you may be my client, but you can't tell me how to do this appraisal, because I'm governed by several rules, and you
gotcha.
can't tell me what to do or how to do it or what number to come in. That's fraud when you
No,
start
I
doing
got
that.
you. I got you.
And so now it's my job to be unbiased and say, look, based upon, you can give me the parameters and say, look, within these parameters, how much is my house worth? And then within those parameters, I'll give you a value. A lot of times with value, it may be a specific number on the page, but in essence, this is my opinion, it's more of a range, because no one is not an exact science.
Right,
It's
right. Gotcha.
typically within a range, because you may purchase this house for one person, your next door neighbor may purchase it for another one, and the next door neighbor may purchase it for another one, and you can have three different people buying this house. And so it's hard, you can't necessarily predict exactly what the number is, although
No.
that's what they want to put
And
on the
that, and
price.
that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So, I want to welcome everybody to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I got my man Eric Etheridge here. Those who might have missed the beginning and just came in, and we thank you for coming in. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. But this right here is my brother from another mother. This is my best
Mm-hmm.
friend right here. We grew up together. I mean, we've done a lot of yeah. Yeah, so it's a
We
lot
done a
of
lot
stories.
together.
So Big Jack got some story times, and this man right here got a lot of stories. So if anybody knows me, but it was so good to have him here because he's talking to us about some of the ins and outs of buying a home, or if you even making sure you get it inspected. So I wish someone had told me this when I first bought my first home, because I didn't get it inspected. But uh, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was broke, so I ain't have enough money to pay somebody to just look at the house. I looked at it, looked good to me, kicked the tires a couple of times, and it looked good to me. But once I got the house and I got in there, is when I found out that there was some things that was wrong, and then you end up having to pay for it later, and you do pay for it later. So it's good to hear somebody tell you that some of the ins and outs. I know you might not be in the market for right now to buying a house or things like that, but you might know somebody that's in the market. So I
That's
do
right.
know that Sharon Jackson is in here right now, and her question
Hey,
was,
Brother Jack.
is that the same across all states? Like, are you licensed just in one state, or you're licensed in the United States? How does that work?
How does that work? So you get licensed in individual states. However, you can do reciprocity. For example, so I'm here in Georgia, and I'm licensed to be a realtor in Georgia. I'm licensed to as an appraiser in Georgia. However, if I came back home in the DMV, I can apply for reciprocity to where I don't have to take the examination. And in
Mm,
certain states, they allow you to do it. In certain states, they don't. Some will say, okay, you still have to take the state exam in order to be licensed in this state, or vice versa. That goes for both the appraisal side as well as the realtor side.
mm.
But most of the time, you start in one state, and then you can you can mushroom. And the thing about it, think about the appraisal piece is, as well as the realtor piece, is understanding the market and understanding the landscape, because every state is different, every city is different, every municipality is different, every subdivision is different. And so the thing is that you have to be competent in those areas to be able to properly either bring come up with an estimate of value, and or from a realtor perspective, understand some of the nuances in the market.
All right. Wow. Okay. All right. I appreciate. So wait a minute. So you said you're a realtor as well, and I don't want to put you on the
Hmm.
spot.
Put me
So
on spot, baby.
can you appraise your own property, and
No,
how can you be biased? So okay. So you can't appraise your own property. All
nope.
right. So I just want. So even though you have that license, but you can't praise your own stuff. I got you. All right. So that makes complete sense because you like I got to be biased and like
Mhm.
I wouldn't be if I was buying my own stuff and this and that.
And and here's the interesting thing. I mean, say for example, we were in the same city. The fact that our relationship is the way it is, I couldn't appraise your house.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know
Be-
that. Yeah, that's for sure.
because now we're in relationship, and that could filter into a possible undue bias situation. Well, you're going to be that's your friend, so now you're going to have a tendency to go higher or lower based upon what he needs.
Mm,
I
I
can't
got you.
do relatives.
Right.
I could be unbiased, but most of the time it's better to stay away from that, because we also have it to where there's possibility that you can get reviewed later on, and then there could be ramifications down the road if things are reviewed and things are uncovered, that you have a relationship with this particular person.
I
And
got you. So Q5 Barnes say if Big Bill, Jack, and Eric says it, I trust and believe it. LaShawn B came behind and said conflict of interest. So I'm thinking that's what they're talking about. So we definitely
Mhm.
want to make sure we um, uh, hit the people that's commenting in there that they're getting a blue jacket. So Camille Newman asked a question to say, "What is the blue jacket?" So the blue jacket, Miss Newman, is a way for you to be your moderator. Basically, the blue jacket or the blue your name turned blue, and you got the wrench next to it. And so now you're a moderator. So you can actually go in. If we had someone come in here, you can actually block them and kick them out, and you help the person during the live. So during the live, you're helping me because I can't have the conversation with E and then have to go in there and try to figure out who's doing the right thing or saying certain things. So you have certain people that's moderators. So and in a lot of the different lives you might go on, you'll see if you earn that moderator, you earn that what we call the blue jacket, or I call it a blue jacket. You earn that to earn the trust of the person who's hosting the live, that you're going to
Mhm.
watch out for them during the live. Now, the other part of that is it allows you to come in and interact with other people who have the blue jacket. So now you could click on any one of those names and go right into their channel and maybe watch one of their videos or subscribe to them. And it's a way to interact and network with each other. So that's another angle that the blue jacket is allowing us to do. So it's something that you'll see a lot more people doing it as far as putting the blue jackets on, and if you earned it, that it's really a privilege and it's an honor, especially when you're talking to content creators because they hold
Mhm.
their channels sacred. These are their channels, these are networks, and you don't want the wrong person to get in there and maybe mess something up. So because of that, or we want to keep the vibe good, we want to keep the channel going, the show going, the flow going, and because of that, we have all these moderators down there. So as I'm talking with E here, I'm still giving trying to give people their blue jackets and things like that. So because they've earned it over the time. So,
Mhm.
but thank you for the question. I see we got my time is in there. Anthony, how you doing? I see. I think it's Walter Jernigan is in there. What's up, Walter Jernigan? How you doing? I'm making sure we get these blue jackets out. So, so it's funny. I was sitting there thinking about, having Eric. I got Eric Etheridge with me, my guest today. And if you haven't heard, this is my brother from another mother. Uh, you know, uh, she probably can claim him on the taxes as much as we've been together, but at the same time, um, uh, we talking like way back, way back, way back, way back to like one of the stories is funny because we live right around the corner from each other. I mean, we could see each other's house. I could see his house from my house and my
Mhm.
house from his house. And one day he was sitting looking out his back door, and I don't know what he did, but he told his mom. He said, "Uh, uh, Big Jack up there driving the truck. He driving the van." So yeah, so I was underage, but trying to help move the van. So I moved the van. It was my grandfather's van. So I moved the van from in front of the house. I drove it down the street, tried to turn it around and bring it back. And it was funny because of the fact that the van didn't have power steering. I didn't know it didn't have power steering. So now I'm dating myself for those who didn't know that cars didn't at one time have power steering. And so I could barely make it turn around and get it all the way back. I wasn't Big Jack at that time. I was a little Jack then. I ain't had that size. But as I'm trying to get back up the road, and then I end up hitting a car trying to get the van parked. Well, it was sad because that was my mom's car that I hit. It was sitting in front of the house. So like, ooh, that was yeah, that was one of the first hiccups on driving. So, but back then you didn't get arrested and lose your license. I ain't had no license. So they couldn't take that from me. But it was funny. Like here's my mom. All those cars on the street. Why you hit mine? Like I wasn't trying to hit nobody's car. But anyway. But that was so.
Yeah.
But I say this to say that we've had a lot of stories, a lot of times together where we was going up and down and up and down and the ins and outs and I was in a bad shape. I really was. I mean, it was just frustrating when everything you think about doing and trying to do and you were failing and wasn't making it, wasn't being successful. And then, when God puts somebody in your life that helps you turn it all around and get you in the right direction. So again, I thank you for that part. I thank you for just being real all the time. I don't recall the times where if we were upset, it was upset quick and it was over quick. And it's like, all right, whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right. And see you tomorrow. And that's just how it worked. But it's just one of those things. So we went to middle school together. So we went to middle school together for those who some of the backstory. And then we separated at high school. So we never really separated, but we didn't go to the same high schools. But the relationship it was never a damper, it never went down. Matter of fact, we, at times tried to transfer to each other's high school so we can get back together. I have never, and I'm just being straight up, I have never seen anyone as dedicated to playing football as this guy right here. This guy right here. This guy that's on here. If he was out there playing and you was in his way, you was getting hurt. So, and it wasn't like he was trying to hurt you. He just went 100 miles an hour all the dang time. And if you was in the way, you were just in the way. So now we're in middle school. I got to tell this story. You got to tell the story. So we're in middle school. We're in middle school playing flag. Listen now, flag football. We're playing flag football in middle school. And we're standing on the sideline. It's not even our time to play. We're sitting there watching a game. And I make a comment that he likes a certain girl in our class. And he bothered by that comment, so he chased me. And I'm running pretty good. I got a ball in my hand. I'm running. He chased me. He tackles me. So he tackles me. I fall down on the ball and dislocated my collarbone. So he dislocated my collarbone. So I'm getting up. He's like, man, get up. You joking. He pulls my arm. No, I'm saying, I ain't joking, dude. This hurt. So we walk over to the teacher. And I'm like, I need to go in. The teacher like, what's wrong with you? What you need to do? I'm like, dude, I think I dislocated my collarbone or something. He like, ain't nothing wrong with you. I turned around. He said, oh, yeah, you better go to the nurse. So, but this man right here, it's funny why we tell the stories because we can laugh at it now. But it was like he was hurt. It was like he was hurt. He took me to the nurse. He like worried and crying. But look, this only reason he was upset because I was the quarterback.
I wasn't the only reason.
Whatever, man. He was only upset because I was a quarterback.
I was upset because you weren't going to possibly not be there the next time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we sitting there praying because we had a good team. We was going to win some games, but so I see my time is in there. And my time doesn't have a blue jacket on, so I'm gonna give blue jackets to my time. I did have a big script E, and I wanted to go up and down there, but I was like, it wouldn't be real if we tried to go off of a script in here. So my time, you got your blue jacket. Look, LaShawn B said, "Dang, Eric, yeah, yeah, dang, that's right.
Oh,
Yes,
she didn't hear the other story about the other dude. Remember
the
he
one
got
you
in my
broke his
way?
hand, huh?
No, yeah, yeah, I
Uh,
broke his hand. He ran. I was chasing. He ran into me, and I ran over him, and he broke his hand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a
Broken
touch
man
football.
wrist. I'm telling you, I've never seen anybody play that hard. I
Touch
mean,
football.
I played with a lot of people, but this guy right here he was a hard runner, hard everything. And if he was going 100 miles an hour, get out the
Yeah,
way, get out the way. So
yeah,
so now so we're back to so now you're a
yeah,
realtor and you do
yeah.
you buy houses? I know you do you
Yeah.
buy them for yourself and or do you or you just sell the homes? How does that work?
Well, both, and both. We haven't purchased anything of for a minute, um, but I buy and sell houses. Some other things that come up that kind of uh, have me sideways. But yeah, from an investor standpoint, we've done renovations. We have rental property. Um, and just I find houses for investors, find houses for people. So I kind of do it all. The renovation piece is more attractive now. Given some of the things, I guess, as you get older, as you've done it for so long, certain things come up from a landlord perspective. And I think in some instances, I know one particular house I do have um, a what you call it, a property manager
Mm,
in one particular house where so don't have to worry about as much as some of the other ones that my wife and I actually are the landlords on. So yeah, yeah. So I do both. But I want to answer some questions. Someone else asked a question. I was looking
okay, that's
in
right.
the chat. They
Yeah.
asked me was Sharon Mama Jack asked me about the process. Is the appraisal process the same in every state? In terms of the process of the appraisal or the process of coming to a value, yes, in every state that is the same. As far as the licensing, different, but the process, the same thought process, as they say, your scientific method is never changed. It's still the same. And the interesting thing is that the same method that we use from the appraisal standpoint, I can actually, in reality, if I get the knowledge in a particular area, I can appraise anything that goes into jewelry, that goes into antiques or whatever it is. I actually have a license to do that with the appraisal license. It does that as long as I gain the knowledge of that particular industry. That process is the same. It does not change. It does
Mm,
not change.
wow. I didn't know that. That's well, I didn't know a lot of this, but at the same time, that's interesting that it doesn't just stay with homes. It's more of the just the process of appraising and things like that. So I got you.
Mhm.
Okay. I want to make sure we recognize Mind Games. Mind
Yeah,
Games is
mind
in
games.
here. I know he's definitely a really cool dude. So those who haven't been at his channel I appreciate him coming over here and supporting everybody that's here. So I got Live Love Life with Nitya. Nitya,
Yeah,
how you doing? And thank you for being in here.
yeah,
Tashmi is here. Anthony or My Time is in here. I
my
checked
time.
out My Time show the other day, and when he said what time meant, it just blew my mind because I said that's very creative on just the name itself. So that's what's up. So I appreciate him being here. If I'm missing anybody, Walter Jernigan is in here, and I believe so. Walter Jernigan, he will be on the show. He'll be coming up soon. So we got a couple of people, or not a lot, but a couple of people in here are also going to be on the show soon. So Q Barnes is coming up. My Mind Games is coming up. So it's a couple of people that's in here that's going to be actual guests. So continue to support the show. We know about Iron Sharpening Iron. Well, we are, and I truly believe that we are stronger together. So together we are
Mhm.
stronger, and we can all help each other. Nithya said, I didn't know that you could appraise more than homes. Great information here. So with that, just saying, what's the school process? What do you go to college for it? Is it a camp or, I
Mhm.
mean, what do you do?
Well, the thing is, I'm a piggyback from what Lithia said the thing is that, like I said, I'm a real property called a real property real estate appraiser. In order for me to get a certain area, say for example jury, I have to go to school for that piece. And with that, then that's a real property appraiser. So now we get into real, actual, tangible property. So I have to get that, but the process is the same. Now, as far as schooling is concerned, for the state of Georgia, I have to go through um, okay, first of all, there's several levels of appraising. There's what we call a registered appraiser, then there's licensing appraiser, then there's a certified appraiser, there's a certified general appraiser. And the difference is that the registered appraiser, you just went to school. And so now you complete your classes with your school. It's typically in Georgia, I think it's right around 90 hours right now. I think it's right 90 hours. And so after you get 90 hours, you have to pass each class, and then you're registered. Then, in order to become a licensed appraiser in the state of Georgia, you have to have at least associate's degree. Well, actually, for the appraiser, you have to have at least a degree, associate's degree. It
Mhm.
didn't used to be that way, so you have to have at least associate's degree, and then after that, you finish out 90 hours, and then you have to take your examination, as well as you have to do. I think it's was it 2,000 hours, like 2,000 hours that you have to do in terms of appraising before you can even sit for the state examination. Once you
Mhm.
pass the state examination, you can appraise houses up to $1 million, and that's your limit. And if you go above 1 million, you have to have somebody sign off. If you also a state appraiser, you can't do commercial property.
No.
And so with the registered appraiser, you can appraise, but someone has to sign off. Basically, you have to function as an apprentice.
Mhm.
And so once you become certified appraiser, I'm a certified appraiser, certified real estate appraiser. So now you have to take in another exam, and then you have to pass that. And I can do any type of residential property. It doesn't make a difference how much it is, and I can do commercial appraisals up to I think it's like $5 million
Mhm.
up to that limit. And then there's the certified general appraiser who can do anything. I was on verge. I was ready to. I was on route to become a certified general, and then some things happened in life where God kind of shift me, and I had to put that in the back burner. And because my life changed at that particular point, I didn't do. I didn't finish the certified general piece.
Uh,
So yeah.
do you mind sharing with us what the shift was? I mean, you had an opportunity to be appraising homes up in the millions of dollars, and I know some form of way that will put more money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Because the more money, I'm assuming the more higher the value of the property,
Yeah.
maybe you make a little bit more on it. Okay, so but you're saying you took a shift because the Lord shifted you. So what was the shift? If you don't mind sharing with.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a problem. So what happened was, I mean, with the appraising with real estate, if you're really into real estate, what happens is that it's a 24/7 job. I mean, you're up late at night. I mean, you're hitting it hard, and if you're busy, and so I had a healthy clientele, so I was up doing praises day and night. My wife got concerns. They're like, you just sit at that computer all day, you're out, you run out, you come back in. And so what happened was, I mean, I was, I was fortunate, was being blessed, and business was coming in, money was coming in, it was really good. But then what happened was, throughout the process, I'm an ordained minister. I'm a licensed minister, and an ordained prophet. And so what happened was, even before I became a licensed minister and ordained prophet, what was happening was that I had started ministry years ago, but then I was doing business and ministry. Then I sat down for ministry for approximately 10 or so years, but I still was doing. That's when I started really doing business, and like I said, business was going well. Business was going well. But then there was a call in my life, and there was a certain area I was looking for. Beyond specifically, I was looking for prophetic, and I was looking for miracles, looking for that. And so I found a church here, that actually specialize in the prophetic and also specialize in miracles. And I found my tribe. I found my
That's what's
people.
up. That's what's
And
up.
then I connected with them, and then because I connected with them, and because I started learning and beginning to pick up, so to speak, that vocation on the spiritual side, that was my passion. So now I split my time, and so
Mm,
as a result, I was not able to dedicate um, my time that I did have to do the business side of it. Is some of it sacrificed for the ministry side, and,
mm,
and so that's what happened. So as a result of that, I couldn't finish. It was interesting. I had one class to take to get my certified general class, but before I could sit for the state exam, and
mm.
so it just shifted. And I mean, I have no regrets.
Oh
Just
man,
something
heck
that
yeah.
happened.
Yeah. So I'm gonna recognize the people that's down here real quick, and then I got another question for you. So I see the sources in there. He's saying great job, funny stories. LaShawn B said
Mm,
24, 365. So I guess she's talking about the work of being a realtor.
yeah,
And yeah, it's
she is
24 hours a
correct.
day, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
Nithya saying after certification, is it easy to get out in the field to work? And I think you answered that in a sense because you said the business was doing well, so you had a lot of clientele. It was her question. I don't want to miss it, so I want you to go ahead and answer it. But I think
Yeah.
you hit that already. But
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, once you get the thing is that there is how do I want to say it? You have to figure out what you're going to do. It's a little work, just like anything else. You lay the foundation. So for me, since I had already been in the business because I was an apprentice for one of my he's still my mentor for what I think for 5 years. I was with him for 5 years. And so through those 5 year experience, I was able to build certain relationships with different realtors. In the appraisal business, there's what we call appraisal management companies. And so I got connected with appraisal management companies. I got hooked up with realtors. I had a contract with HUD, had a contract with Fannie Mae. And then through my work, your name gets passed around, kind of like you guys are doing, support one another here online. What'll happen is that I start hooking up with the different attorneys, different realtors, and just people along the way. And so as a result, the business, my clientele mushroomed. And one of the things is that you can, it's like fishing. You could hook a fish, but can you bring them in?
mm.
We Bill and I got fishing stories too.
You got that
And
fishing story.
so we
Yeah.
so the thing is that you have your clientele, but now you have to keep your clientele.
Right, right, right. So
Yeah.
now
So
LaShawn B, well, Nithya said right. Tajmir said, back with a nice cup of tea. So I'm glad you was able to get your cup of tea. Um, take care, Source. I know Source says he had to go back. He talked to us later at work, so I understand that. Because now the Source is in Hawaii. So his time
hey,
zone's a little bit different. So he's down in Hawaii. So that's the cool thing about the
I
YouTube
love it.
family and the YouTube community. You might have somebody from all over the world in here now, different time zones and things like that. So LaShawn B made the comment, you have to build your own business and it depends on you. So it's no different than what we're going through as content creators and things like that, where we actually have to build your own business. You're building your own channel. You put the content in. You go to the different lives. You host your own lives, and
Mhm,
that's will make you. You can be successful, or you can be whatever. Like my whole thing was, I wanted to be able to go live. I wanted to be able to just go live. I'm not so
mhm.
worried about being monetized and things like that. Don't ever get me wrong when I make that comment. If they pay me, I'm gonna take the check. But my whole
I know
thing
that's right.
is, I'm not in here
Feel the
for the
threat.
check. So
Mhm,
what I'm doing right now is what I really wanted to do, and this
mhm,
is probably one of the easiest things you can do with YouTube because other than getting a channel, it's the fact that you can. All you needed was 50, not all, but you need 50 subscribers to be able to go live. So once I hit the 50 mark, I was good.
right.
Now, when the channel started growing, it was like, wow, that's a blessing. But don't get me twisted. Like I say, if Google wanted to pay me right now, I'm taking the money. I'm taking the
Hey,
money. I'm
hey.
taking the money. So I want to see what Nydia said real quick. She says, I am a licensed life insurance agent, and I
Mhm,
have to go door to door and find ways to build clients. I couldn't hook too many fishes and then laugh LOL. So hey, look, go ahead and tell them the story on the fish. We got a couple of minutes left. Tell us the
The
story on the fish.
man, that fish story that we went fishing. Oh man, I don't know if it was I don't know if it was Rock Creek Park. I can't remember where we
It
went
was somewhere in the
fishing.
Potomac. I think the Potomac
Potomac.
River, but yeah.
Yeah, Potomac River. So we go fishing and we're fishing with chicken livers.
Yep.
And all we had was bamboo. We had a bamboo stick and a line.
Bamboo poles, yeah.
Bamboo and a line. And we had chicken livers. So we we out there and we're fishing. And so we throw the throw the hook in the water. I don't know if we was about to leave or what, but we threw it in the water, and so I was able to hook this. It was a catfish. I mean, that thing. I don't know
It
if
was
that thing was
huge.
huge.
It was
That
huge.
I mean, you look at a pole. You think a pole is straight. That puppy was like that.
Oh
It was
yeah.
bending. I was like, oh my god, is this gonna break? And I think Bill did. I think you may have pulled it in. I had it, and I think you may have
I'm
helped me
grabbing the
pull it in.
string, you got the
Yeah,
pole.
yeah, he had the pole.
We pull
And
it.
we like, what
Look,
the
didn't
world?
it? Like, it's funny because we didn't know how to get it off the
We
line,
didn't
so
have
we
no
walking around the park with this big old fish hanging and dangling. Because my grandfather took us out fishing,
yeah,
and we couldn't catch nothing. All we couldn't even catch a cold that day.
we
And all
couldn't.
of a sudden, out of nowhere, you catch that big old channel cat, and that
Okay.
thing was huge. It
It
was
was
huge,
huge.
huge. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
funny because we laugh about it because again, it was the bamboo pole and the pulling of the string and the walking through the park, not knowing how to get it off.
Yeah,
So those was that's to make the funny thing. And if you was there, it'd be even more funny. But so Inner Beauty Blessings Lifestyle is in here. Hello, Inner
yeah.
Beauty. Nithya is saying hello to Inner Beauty. How y'all doing? So we got E. So now you made a comment. You said I guess you're ordained prophet. Is that
Mm-hmm.
is that okay?
Yeah.
And you could have took the test on the real estate side of the business, but you more went the direction of the calling. The Lord called you into the ministry, so you went that direction. So what I was wondering right there, you follow God's calling. Did you miss any meals? Did you
Oh
was the
no. No.
was the roof did you lose your house and all of that stuff because you followed the calling?
Nah, nah, nah. It's one of the things is having a balance, and you can balance everything out. And to answer your question, no. In fact, um, um, it's amazing how things work out. In some instances, I mean, we prospered more, So it did. I didn't miss a beat. We didn't miss a
Mm,
beat. Yeah, I
wow.
mean, everything worked out, and everything has been working out, and it continues to work out. So and in fact, it was like one of those things. Like, all right, God, is this what you told me to do? You told me to be in the praiser. Okay. You told me to do this ministry. Okay. Now it's up to you to provide. Okay.
Mm,
And He has, and then some. I've been able to travel to different countries and travel to different places. We don't miss a meal. Haven't missed a meal, and we have everything that we need.
right, right. That's what's up. That's really cool. I mean, um it's been mentioned on this show, but it wasn't we didn't really dig deep into it. So a lot of times when me and E have conversations because matter of fact you said your wife, so that only means one thing, you're married. So how long have you been married?
Um,
Did I put you on the spot? Oh my God, no,
20
no. Sorry.
nah, we're coming up on 27 years. We're coming up on
Okay.
27 years.
All right,
The
so
funny thing is,
27 years. Huh?
and you were the best man outside of the groom.
Oh, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I was the best man at the wedding?
Yeah, you were the best man. You were out. Put it this way, I couldn't have got married without
Well,
without
without
you,
your wife. Yeah, without your
without
wife,
my
but
wife,
yeah.
and without you.
Yeah. So
Everybody
what
else could have
happened?
been.
What happened? For those who don't know this story, and as we go on at it, I officiated his wedding. So I was the minister over his wedding when he got married. So I've performed two weddings in my life. I've only performed two. So the Lord called me years ago, and I'm trying to think what 1994, 95 is when He called me into the ministry. But I was able to perform your wedding, and I
Mm-hmm.
performed one other. So in the two weddings that I performed. We're looking at 25 years and almost 20 years. And so I retired from performing weddings. So I'm going out on top. I'm not doing it anymore because I got two that's lasted
That's right,
decades, and
baby.
I said I'm never going. I'm just going to go that way. So I'm not
That's
going
right.
any other direction. I'm gonna leave it alone. But no, it was a blessing. I
We good time.
remember he got married in Miami, Florida,
Yep, got
on a
married there.
cruise ship. So yeah, he got married on a cruise ship in Miami,
Mhm,
and I remember traveling down there to just do the wedding. I didn't even go on the
mhm.
cruise. And
Yeah.
matter of fact, I was still in the military and was getting ready to get
Mhm.
out and was starting to move. So I went down, did the wedding, and and got on. I don't even know how did I get down.
Yeah,
I
well,
had to
I think
fly, I
you
guess,
took
or drove or
no,
bus. I
you
don't know,
actually you
but
actually took a bus.
yeah, a bus. Woo.
You actually
You know
took a
how much
bus
I love
down.
you if I took a bus to
I
Florida.
know, man. We love you
You
too.
look at dude,
I
that's a
know.
real now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that's a real
No, no.
love, bro. I took a
Hey,
bus. Oh my
you
God.
took it from were you in
I was in
Hampton?
Virginia. I was
You was in
outside
Virginia
Richmond,
time?
Virginia.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
took yeah, you took it, bro. Yeah, he took
yeah.
one for the team.
Nah.
He took it for the team.
Oh
Yeah,
no, no,
'cause
no, no. Look, Q Barnes says, speaking of fish, I remember it was getting it through hook and crook. That's right. You're right. Absolutely.
yeah, to get it.
Absolutely. Heavy Hitters Band said the streak stays alive. Yes.
Yeah.
Heavy Hitters, you're absolutely correct. I'm retired. So it's funny because I do that a lot. So I'm one of those people that if I win a championship, I'm probably going to quit the sport. I'm not going to go for the second one. So in the neighborhood that I live in, they used to decorate. We used to decorate a house for Christmas for putting all the lights up and stuff like that. And they had a contest. So they had a contest in our neighborhood, and we won. We came in second the first year that they did it. We won the second year. You know, I haven't put up a Christmas light since we won.
That's it.
That one, not one light. I'm done. I'm with it.
It's over.
I go out on top. I win the trophy, and then I'm done with it. You don't have to worry. You know, so I probably
Going
would
out
have the
top.
shortest career ever if I was prize fighter or anything like that. But like
Mm-hmm.
he won the belt and he quit that same day.
He quit
Yeah,
the same day.
so
He
I
going
like
on
to
top.
go out on top when I got a chance. But you know,
Yeah.
so
It, yeah.
we're in there. So we're at that point. We're real close. But
Mm,
would you recommend to
mm.
someone that is looking into, say, buying a house to flip it or to rent it out or things like that? And I'm just saying, if someone was to come at you with that, and if somebody give me some advice, would you recommend that they do those things?
It all and I'll say it this way, and I don't mean to be evasive, but it all depends on your strategy. So
Mm,
you have to figure out what is your end game. And so sometimes is it for the long haul or is it something that and so here's the thing. So if you're gonna have a property and you're gonna have the property in long haul, there's the appreciation side of it. But just like any stock or any market, people say that real estate doesn't go down, and that's not true. The thing is that what they mean is that if you have an acre today, you're gonna have an acre tomorrow. So real that from that standpoint, real estate, you never lose real estate. However, the as we've seen in the years past, that real estate values have fluctuated, and
mm,
so now in the long haul, over the long haul, if you stay over the long haul, typically and more likely you're going to make the house is going to appreciate it. You'll make your money. Now the thing is that you have to be able to deal with the in between. So you have to be able to deal with the tenants. You have to be able to deal with the repairs because here's the thing: it's an asset as long as it's rented and that you're getting money come in. It now becomes a liability when it's vacant.
mm,
And so you have to make a decision. Say, look, is it for the long haul, and or is it for the short? Now, for the short term is that yeah, you can get into a property and you can renovate it and you sell it, but the thing that you also have to be aware of is tax portion,
mm,
because you best believe you got to pay Uncle Sam. You know, when you come to capital gains tax, when you flip that joker, you're going to have to pay capital gains tax. The thing about the rental piece, it could be used from tax purposes and it could be leveraged. And so now over a period of time, you can take depreciation off of it and you can do other use it for other tax strategies. And so it all depends upon what your end game is and what you're trying to do and or how you're trying to build your portfolio. And so
mm,
it's all that's one of those things when I sit down with people and I have to sit down and talk to them about that. Me personally, where I'm at right now, if I buy, be honest with you, if I buy anything, it's going to be an apartment building. If it's an
mm,
apartment building, I'm getting this is just where I am in my stage. And that doesn't necessarily have to be everybody else. I'll buy an apartment building, then I'll have a property manager and go from there. But as far as buying single family residential, that's not something that I at this point would do. I will buy it, but then I'll rehab it and then I'll flip it and
Flip it.
kind of go from there and take the
Okay.
profits and move.
No, that's what's up, and thank you for that. Thank you for that real talk and real advice on that. So I see CEO 369 Consulting is in here. Hello, CEO. Miss Newman still hanging around with us, and we appreciate it. Nitya is still in here. Heavy hitters. I know.
Hey, hey.
The heavy hitter band was on the show just a couple of weeks
Hmm.
ago, and they did a wonderful job. So I'm glad to have them here supporting. QB is here, LaShawn B is in here,
Hey, hey.
and there's a couple of Inner Beauty in here. I believe I know I'm seeing the name's still here, so I'm not sure if they're still here. But if you're still here, if you haven't hit that like button, we appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that like button. That means just double tap your screen, and that if you're on your phone, and that will do it. So Mind Games is going back and forth. Mind Games channel is blowing up. So if y'all haven't been past that channel, that man has definitely grew and leaps and bounds as far as not only in subscribers, but at the same time through his watch hours and things like that. So he'll be monetized probably next week at the rate he's going right now. So I'm definitely happy for him and all that he's doing. So definitely support him. He's going to be on there. He's going to be on Super Sunday. So Super Bowl Sunday, I got
Hey.
Mind Games going to be on the channel. So that's a I ain't gonna say it's an honor for him. It's an honor for me to have him on there. So I appreciate him. He said, Mind Game just said, "You're awesome, bro. You're doing start growing fast as me, if not faster. But those scheduled interviews, you're already through March. Yes, and that's another thing. If you want to be a guest and you're here, and you want to be a guest on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, just send me an email in the description of this channel. There's my email in there. Send me an email. We'll set up a time. We are building the March lineup now. We only do the shows on Wednesdays and Sundays because I do have a family. I do have a 9 to 5 that I go to, and as said, you have to have a good balance. And my family is they're supportive with me with my 2 days. So that's why you don't see me a lot of live. If you see me on a live outside of this, it's a rare occasion, and it's more because everybody say just stay away. So we do have a. It's funny because I got a couple of minutes left. I'm gonna share this. In my house, we have stay away Saturday or stay away Sunday. We pick whichever day, but it's stay away, and I mean everybody stays away from each other. So that someone will go on the top level of the house, someone will be in the family room, someone will be in the basement, and we actually stay away. We're
That's
all in the
funny.
same house, but we stay away from each other for that time.
Hmm.
So if you see me live doing that, mean it's a stay away something, and it's like, I ain't got not I don't have anything else to do, but it's just one of those. Oh, I'm going live. So that's why a lot of times you might see me in the live where I go in to support somebody else's, and that's because I'm really 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 into helping and building. That's the whole show, Iron Sharpening Iron. I believe we are stronger together. Your skills and my skills, once we hit them together and clash, I'm gonna be stronger. You're gonna be stronger when it's our conversation is done, and that's what it's all about. So if you want to be a guest, you are more than welcome. Please send me the email. I would definitely schedule, get you in there, and I would love to have you on here because that's how I get stronger by learning from what you do. So it's in the email. The email is real easy. It's BigJackStoryTimeGuest@gmail.com. And there's no S on the guest. It's BigJackStoryTimeGuest@gmail.com. All right, so we're running out of time. We only got a couple of minutes left. I mean, really, a couple of minutes. I truly, truly thank you for being on here with me. It has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure. I know it's funny, we could we could not talk for months. I mean, months go by and we don't talk, and we'll pick up that phone, and then we'll be on the phone for hours. We don't miss a beat. It's now almost like we like, where did we leave off the last time we was talking, and that's how it goes from there. But to the point, my wife said today, and she say, all right. I want to do my dollhouse at 8 o'clock. So your show in, and you want to talk to E, you talk to him upstairs after the show. So he already know that we're gonna be talking later because I will talk more with him. But with all of that, I'm gonna
Yeah.
thank you all who tuned in today. because I only to go 1 hour and we at that hour mark. There is no nugget, so I dropped the nugget early. And that's mind games. I took some of your advice and I tried my best to interact with everyone down there. So I appreciate the insight that you gave me. I think we did a real good job today. I want to thank Eric for being a guest on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. Again, if you want to be a guest, drop that email in there and we can work some things out. The only way I can send you the link to come live is that I have some form of contact. Your cell number or your email, and it's easier just to go email, and then that way we can come in. I'm gonna hit what Nydia just said. Big Jack, I am still laughing at you asking where were the best man? Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny because real quick, the cabin they gave us to change in, on a cruise ship, that thing was super small, and none of us are small. These big old dudes up in there trying to change, but we had a good time. And then it was like a couple of people that was at the wedding that didn't want to get off the ship, but you ain't pay no ticket, you better get up off of there. But I wasn't that person. I got off. My game said, get a great job. We did a great job. Okay. And proud of you both. Thank you so much for sharing. Much love and blessings. Mind Games, thank you again for coming out. Sean B, thank you. Sharon Jackson, good night. Love you.
Love you,
Those who don't know who Sharon Jackson is,
Mama
that's the
Jack.
mother. So that's my mom right there. CEO, thank you for we all were awesome. Miss Newman, thank you. And Miss Newman's going to be a guest on the show. We just got to get her up there. She said she's going to be ready. It just can't be as long as the Commanders are still playing. She's not
Huh?
going to be a guest. So we got to wait for the Commanders to finish, and hopefully it will be on
Hopefully
February
it'll
the
be Sunday.
9th. So
Yeah,
February 9th, we'll see.
hopefully it'll be Sunday, right?
Yeah. No, it'll be February
Ah.
9th. Watch yourself. The source, learning a lot. Thank you, source. I know you was working and thank you for supporting. Nydia, you've been a true trooper the whole time and thank you, thank you. So for all of y'all, I just want to let you know, I love you. Good night. We'll talk to you later. Eric, thank you, sir.
Peace.